Hello and welcome. This week we are talking about some things that you might find boring or think that you are going to find boring or in the past have found boring. And I want to let you know that we're going to make this fun because every aspect of your business can be fun. And when we're talking about numbers and conversions and sales logistics, you can tend to get a little, and I want you to stay with me. And we're going to make this truly enjoyable, and it's going to increase your energy and your vibration. Operating in your business as a professional woman entrepreneur requires you to be responsible about your numbers. And a lot of times what can happen in someone's business when they make a sale is they're like, yes, I just made $5,000. And they're thinking about, now I get to pay off these bills or do this or go buy this pocketbook or this pair of shoes or whatever you may be thinking about once that sale or multitude of sales have come in. And this is not the time to detach from your numbers. It's actually time to move into a deeper level of responsibility with your numbers and being in connection with those numbers. And sometimes creatives and visionaries and leaders, they want to stay in that, oh my gosh, this is so exciting and I'm making this money and I'm making an impact and I'm being of service or people are buying my product or whatever it is. And then they neglect this very important part of their business. And I'm here to let you know, and you may not like to hear this, but it is the truth. And I want you to have success. And the prevention is in having a relationship with your numbers and knowing these different numbers so that you're not just going and looking at your bank balance and saying, I've got X amount of dollars to go out and have fun with, or X amount of dollars to reinvest in my business. You know the truth of those numbers. So let's dive in. First and foremost, you're going to want to be tracking your conversions. So for every sales conversation you have, you're going to track it on a paper, and then you're going to look at how many have converted. And the conversions can be numbers in any form. So it's not just your sales conversation, but it's also what are the email marketing techniques that you're using and what are the results that you're getting. So you need to know your return on investment for every action that you're taking, every investment of your time and money. You have to know those numbers and you have to know what are the results that I'm receiving from these efforts. And if you monitor them closely enough, then you can make a decision based upon the numbers to course correct if you need to or amp up something if you need to. Look, if something's working, like go and do more of it. And then you're going to increase your numbers. And if you're noticing in your sales conversations that people are responding to a certain technique that you're using and you now are converting at a 50% rate, in other words, if you have 10 sales conversations per month, and 5 of them became paying clients, then that's a 50% conversion. It's simple math. We don't need to get into any kind of complication here. If you're promoting something online and you're using an email marketing system for this, and you need to know what your open rates are, because if your open rates are low, it's your subject line. If your click-through rates are low, it's the copy in your email. And if your opt-in rates are low, then it might possibly be the copy or the design of the opt-in page. So you'll need to know those numbers as well. Once you have these numbers, it's information, and there is power in this information. It will direct your next action steps. So if you know that you're at a 50% sales conversion rate and you need X amount of dollars coming in, then you need to take the certain marketing efforts, both online and offline, or whatever it is that you do for your own business, to increase those numbers to get a certain amount of people into sales conversations. And then what you can do is you can begin to predict your financial status a lot more easily. The other thing that you'll need to know about are your business numbers. So there's such a thing as it's called cost of goods sold. And a lot of entrepreneurs that I come across have no clue what that even means. So if you're selling a product or a service, we're going to refer to that as a unit. And you need to know how much does it cost for you to sell that unit and what is the cost of goods sold. And you also need to know your profit and loss. So what are your expenses? And it's really exciting and it's really fun to track your income and to say, oh my gosh, I had this amount of dollar a month, or I sold this many units, and get all excited about that. But you cannot abandon the other side of the equation, which is, what are the expenses and what am I spending to have this outcome? So get really clear and sit down and have a spreadsheet or use a program that's going to help you to have an automated profit and loss so that you can be a responsible business owner. And this part of the equation is one of the biggest things that will indicate and determine whether you are going to sustain yourself in your industry. So knowing specifically what are your expenses on an annual basis. What does it cost to run your business on an annual basis? List out each and everything. What are the services that you need to run your business? What are the products that you need to run your business? Investing in a program like this is one of the reasons and expenses that will be on there as well. It is also something that is tax deductible. When you're advancing your education, it is a tax deductible item. So that's a really exciting thing. And then you'll be able to look at more clearly, if I'm doing one project, what is it costing me to do this project? There are many, many costs associated with running a school such as the School of Feminine Fortune, and I would not be able to sustain myself if I wasn't crystal clear on what those exact numbers are. What are the operating costs for running the School of Feminine Fortune on an annual basis? What are the one-time annual fees for certain things? And then what are the ongoing monthly business expenses for myself, for my team? Who am I investing in? And then looking ahead and seeing, who do I need to bring on board down the road? When I hit this dollar amount in revenue, in profit, then I will bring this team member on. And having that articulated ahead of time is going to set you up for success. But not only that, it's going to be the momentum that draws you forward. So it's exciting because you get to think, oh my gosh, when I hit this amount in revenue, here's what I'm going to be doing, or here's what I'm going to be delegating out, and those sorts of things. And then knowing the next milestone. So not really staying there, being more real in the present moment with your numbers, but also having a vision or an idea for down the road. And if you need to sit down with an accountant, I personally think that that's a requirement in your business. Sitting down with a financial planner, a reputable financial planner, and you need to have a reputable financial planner. I can assure you of that. I've heard some horror stories. So know who you're going to and educate yourself on what you need to have prepared ahead of time and how to identify a really great financial planner. And so going and sitting down with these kinds of people, having a bookkeeper or talking to a bookkeeper, these sorts of things are going to be the exact ingredients that are allowing you to show up as a powerful and responsible entrepreneur and to be that 10% of female-founded businesses that succeed, because 90% of female-founded businesses fail. And that's just in the first year. As you go along, those numbers are actually decreasing. So the longer you're in business, the smaller the chances is that you will stay in business according to modern day statistics. So I really want to set you up for success here. I really want to encourage you to look at this through the lens of, this is fun, this is very informative, and I feel powerful, and I feel responsible, and I feel successful when I look at both sides of all of the logistics, and I have them in place, and I feel supported, and I know my numbers, and I know my numbers on a regular basis. And that is the one founding principle that is really going to lend itself to you continuing to be a master at sales and a master at entrepreneurship.